What is up, guys? Basic Battles here, and today I just wanted to quickly, go over UFC 302 and just talk. Just talk about what a what a terrible card it was. But honestly, it wasn't too bad. It had a couple of good moments, such as the main event, which was a banger. Kevin Holland back, snapped his little 2-fight streak with a nice armbar victory. I had a good Randy Brown, Easy Days, Dos Santos. I know who Alicio is. I just hate saying his name, bro. I mean, it's just really hard to say. But yeah, Zaleski Dos Santos. Great fight that was. Not great, but it was alright. Kopylov got a split decision win somehow. Oh my goodness, the judging on this card was just the worst. Obviously, Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa was just not that good a fight. It was pretty boring, and terrible judging was the most exciting part about it, I guess, if you want to call it that. It wasn't really exciting. Just nothing much happened. Hafez and Gall had a great early prelim fight. That was fun. Lima and Raposo was good, and it had, oh my goodness. Oh, it was such a bad decision for, I think it was like a 29-28 for Raposo. Like, how do you give him that fight? It just doesn't. 230-27s for Andre Lima, and then a 29-28 for Raposo. How do judges sit next to each other and judge a fight like that? It just doesn't make any sense. How is the judging so bad tonight? It's just, you can't allow that in a main card, and especially a main card. I meant to say you can't allow that on a UFC card in general, but especially on a main card. You can't allow that on a pay-per-view that people are paying $80 for, And it's terrible for the fighters, too. I mean, these are their careers, and it's just, bad judging can ruin a career, man. Just look at poor Dom Reyes. It's just hard. It's hard to watch sometimes. But, man, oh, man. Perez Edwards was fine. It was a lot of grappling, and it was fun. It had some good moments. The back fist knockout was fun. Jake Matthews versus Phil Rowe was pretty uneventful. It was just a good performance by Jake Matthews. Phil Rowe didn't do too much. Dawson versus Selecki was really boring. They somehow gave Selecki a round. It's just, the judging was so bad all night. Dalton Almeida started off the finishes. I mean, he got 1 of 3, and it was a good performance by him. Romanov is just trash. They need to just cut him. He's so bad. Feed him to Derek Lewis. Let him knock. Oh, man, actually, I don't even know if that's possible, bro. Derek might just get subbed by him somehow. Then we would have to keep him around, but no. I would say add him to Derek Lewis's knockout record, because he is really bad. I don't even know if he can take him down. He's just so out of shape. His grappling offense is in there. He just accepted it, getting subbed by Jalton as soon as he got taken down. Almeida versus Kopylov was good, but Almeida just was getting caught with the worst. I mean, Kopylov was kind of gassing after the first round, and, Almeida just, he was piecing him. He landed a few good shots in the second and third rounds. He got completely shut out in the first round, though. Got knocked down, got taken down, got controlled. So, yeah, first round was a complete shutout for Kopylov. And then the next two was kind of the same round, really. Almeida would start off on the front foot, landing a few good strikes, some good kicks. And then he would get caught by some of the worst takedowns you've seen. I mean, they're just such slow entries from Kopylov. But when he got him down, he completely controlled him. I guess that shows why Cesar Almeida was only 5-0 coming into this. It was a big step up and a good win for Kopylov. He showed new edge to him with his grappling. But he better be careful with all that gassing out and stuff, because it's not going to bode well for him. Especially if he wants to get back in the top 15, There's a reason he lost to Fluffy like that. Alright, on to the main card. Obviously, like I said, Brown versus Dos Santos was really good. Good performance by Brown. Obviously he got caught, he was in a body triangle for the longest time in the second round, and that's what lost him that round. He reversed it, though, at the end. He stayed calm and cool, and he landed good kicks. Actually, that was really... Dos Anjos landed some good kicks, too, but that was really the only thing he landed on the feet on Randy Brown. So it was just a good performance by Brown. You know, nothing really to write home about, but it was a good fight. Nico Price versus Alex Bruno was just not a good fight. Honestly, in hindsight, they should have just kept Jonathan Almeida and Romanov on the main card. But then all the prelims would have just been decisions, so it would have just been horrible to watch. But yeah, so Nico Price and Moreno, nothing really to write home about. Good win for Price, I guess, but it was just uneventful. Not that good. They both gassed heavy, and they were just winging stuff. No reaction from the crowd. It just, Price landed more, so he won. I can't say his name. Mikal. Anyways, yeah, coming off the loss to Pereira, you know, I actually thought he was going to get finished again on the feet by Kevin Holland, you know, coming off, you know, getting finished by Pereira. But obviously that was a body shot KO, so it didn't affect his chin too much, and he got subbed by him eventually. It was just a great run through for Pereira at 299. But then, you know, Holland coming in, he also fought on 299 and, you know, lost to. So it was a good matchmaking, a good, you know, little late addition to the card. Mikal, obviously great knockout artist, so he dropped Kevin with a crazy overhand when Kevin was throwing a kick. He was a little off balance, but it was still a heck of a drop. And then made the mistake of following Kevin to the ground. He forgot, just like Kevin forgets sometimes, that he's a BJJ black belt, and Kevin got to hold that arm, and that was that. I liked how Kevin was like, dude, you got to tap or else I'm going to break your arm, and that's what happened. Might have just been a dislocation, though. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. What can I say? But a great performance from Kevin Holland on the ground. It'll be exciting to see him in 2 months again. You know, Mikal, I think he should take a little bit of time. Maybe come back at the end of the year. Obviously, I mean, his arm's gone, so he doesn't really have a choice, does he? He's got to rehab that stuff. It's just not been a good year for him. But yeah, Costa versus Strickland, just not. This is just a Sean Strickland fight, you know. He just jab, teep, 1-2 occasionally, and Costa was just playing right into his game instead of, you know, he was kind of doing what Alex Pereira was doing against Sean Strickland. He was really circling around instead of just staying against the cage against Strickland, but he did it at Sean's pace, you know. Alex Pereira dictated the pace against Sean Strickland by stopping in tracks and throwing through leg kicks to stop his momentum, and eventually getting him with that left hook, which obviously Paulo Costa doesn't really have that one-shot KO power that Pereira does, so it's really hard for him to emulate that style when he doesn't have the same reach, the same power, you know, the same speed on the feet, really. It's just kind of hard, you know. Pereira's got those experienced kickboxing tendencies. And then Sean Strickland just walked him down the whole time. And honestly, he didn't really throw anything significant. I mean, he didn't really land anything on Paulo except for that end where he dropped him with the head kick, which, you know, was blocked. It was just... But it landed. It still dropped him. You know. So nothing really significant. And as for the judging for this fight, I could maybe see Paulo squeaking out 2 rounds if you want to be very, you know, very, very generous to Paulo. Maybe he got the first round and maybe he got the 4th round. And I actually think he was winning the 5th round before he got dropped, but he just lost it for himself in the last 10 seconds. But a 49-46 was just egregious. That's a crazy scorecard. And that was the same guy who scored the first Raposa fight for Raposa. And it's just bad judging all around. He should never judge a UFC fight for a long, long time until he improves his game, or he just shouldn't do it in general. But yeah, just, you know, Strickland, fine. He should wait it out, get his title shot again. He earned it pretty much. You know, it should be interesting. Now, he's still number 1 contender, so he's probably going to be next for whoever wins DDP versus Izzy. And then we move to the main event. What a banger this was. It saved the card, as it should, as all main events should. Islam and Dustin went to war. I had it 3-2. Not 3-2. I had 3-1 Islam going into the 5th round. It was a great fight. I thought, you know, I had Islam winning in the 2nd round by a finish. Didn't happen. Dustin showed tremendous heart. Great defense off his back. He just put himself in some compromising positions. Obviously that tends to happen when you're fighting Islam. He did some good damage on Islam, in my opinion. The cuts that he landed in the fourth round won him that round, in my opinion. It was just a great fight. Great show of Dustin Poirier, and, if he retires off that, that's a great fight to retire off of. Even if he doesn't get the belt, he's a legend of the sport, and he deserves it. Islam, it definitely wasn't the greatest performance, but it was still a great performance by Islam. Obviously, Dustin Poirier is a killer. Crazy on the feet. It was a solid performance from Islam. Mixed in the takedowns well, controlled Dustin the way he needed to. Obviously, that last trip that he had, ankle pick and then into the Dar stroke, was a beautiful transition. But yeah, great fight. He went through adversity really well. And yeah, I'm very excited for whatever he does next, whether he goes up to 170 or he fights Arman next. I think he's going to fight Arman next, whether it be in Abu Dhabi or it's going to be at MSG. I think he's going to do that October, November. And then next year he's going to fight the welterweight champ if he gets past Arman, which I think he does, but that's just my opinion. If Dustin really wants to come back, which I don't think he will, in my opinion, I don't think he will, unless it's like a year from now and he comes back for some money fight, which he said he doesn't need, so I don't think he will. I think this will be the last time we see Poirier. But if he does come back, I think him versus Gaethje trilogy would be nice. And then they both just ride off into the sunset, win, lose, draw, whatever happens there. That'd be nice. But yeah, that's the UFC 302. Pretty terrible card until that main event. A couple of standouts on it, but we still got a great month of fights. And this was a good start with the main event, But that's all that really says. Next, we move on to Kanir Imavov, and then obviously the next pay-per-view is Conor versus Chandler. So, very exciting month of fights, and we're only just started. So, thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.